like to call the order. Will clerk please call the roll?
His Honor the Mayor. Councilor McBrearty. Councilor McBrearty. Here. Councilor DeMasi. Here. Councilor Hill.
Here.
Councilor Wilmot.
Here.
Councilor Gosick.
Here.
Councilor Tesserio.
Here.
Councilor Cordino.
Here.
All present.
Thank you. This hearing is regarding local law number 6 of 2018, a local law amending Chapter 59, alcoholic beverages of the Code of the City of Oswego. Come up to speak. Please state your name and address and try to keep your comments to 5 minutes or less. The first person signed up is Tyler.
Good evening. Let me get some of my materials ready here. I'll get a timer so I don't prattle on for half hour. I can talk about data for hours. All right. So, good evening. My name is Tyler Ahart. I'm with the Oswego County Prevention Coalition. Part of the coalition's objective is to reduce substance abuse in youth adolescents and to increase the overall wellness in Oswego County. And it's my belief that this law will help do just that. Let me try to get this clicker here. So I have some data here from our Youth Development Survey data. We conduct this data every 2 years. The data analyzes the youth substances in tobacco, prescription drugs, marijuana, and alcohol. So I have some brief snippets of data for that to help support this law. Let's see what we can do here. So far nothing is happening. Hang on. I don't know, I can't get it to do nothing. Lisa's technology's fault, not my own. Just clicking on it, I don't know if it was on, it wasn't doing nothing. Alright, thank you. Alright, thank goodness for tech support. Alright, just to get started, again I mentioned the Youth Development Survey data is conducted by the Coalition every 2 years and assesses youth use of cigarettes, alcohol, marijuana, and prescription drugs. The first thing we have here is the past 30-day drug use. This measures from grades 7 through 12, and you can see here the prevalence of underage drinking is extremely high. It leads with 32.5% in seniors, and marijuana, again an illegal substance still in New York State, is the second highest. That is higher than cigarettes. That's pretty alarming, if you ask me. Students' perception of risk. Substance abuse starts with perception of risk for anyone. If the person does not perceive a risk higher than the reward, the substance will in fact be abused. This applies to many subjects in life, other outside of substances, because it includes activities, you know. So again, this starts with the perception of risk, and you can see here how cigarettes ranks highest along with prescription drugs, which is nice to see that tobacco may finally be on its way out for youth. You can see, though, the most popular continue to be alcohol and marijuana. And again, to reiterate, marijuana is an illegal drug in New York State, and it ranks the lowest for perception of risk. And these are youth. These aren't necessarily, you know, citizens who have conducted medical research and things like that. These are, you know, 7th through 12th graders who are perceiving little to no risk. And you can see as the age progresses, the risk, you know, the risk just depletes. An age of first use. This trend is arguably one of the most alarming. You can see the age of first use for seniors is around the age of 15, and the younger they get, the earlier the age of first use is. This is really where the goals of coalitions across the U.S. come into play. Students now, according to this survey from 7th grade, their average age of a first use of any substance is 10 to 11 years old. So this includes whether it's drinking, cigarettes, and anything like that. So you can really see that things are getting worse for youth. Again, it goes back to perception of harm. If they don't perceive any risk, whether that's a health risk or even a legal risk, they're more likely to abuse that substance. The next slide is where students use alcohol. You can see this is what we've always believed, but the data just really supports it. It really helps having numbers to really back up what we've always been saying. And you can see here the most prevalent use of alcohol is either at home or at a friend's house. And you can just tell that this is where the social host law really will come into play. These are where these sites where they're being used, and this law will really help to deter some of that behavior. And again, this is where students use marijuana. This question did apply to cigarettes and to prescription drugs, but being the lower of the two substances, the data wasn't nearly as interesting or as relevant necessarily. You can see here at a friend's house where marijuana is the highest, higher than at home, and there is a bit of at school. That is something to note. Students have been reported using THC in these Juuls, in the, you know, the ones that look like flash drives. So they're using these things on-site, on campus, so students are walking around high on THC. So just to summarize about when students use, it's before school, during school, and weekends, and weeknights. So really, it's about being at the friend's house, and it's about this weekend use. And majority of uses takes place, again, on the weekends for all substances. So just to conclude, really, the social host law will really help deter some of this. Again, I mentioned that perception of risk, we like to always associate it with health, but you can't tell a teenager what they're going to, what they're going to ingest. So ultimately, the perception of risk applies to legal matters as well. If they know that there's a price to pay, that they don't feel necessarily so secure having a house party in their parents' basement while their parents are upstairs, they're going to consume these substances. So hopefully with this social host law, some things will change and we can hopefully increase the overall wellness of youth in Oswego County. Thank you.
Very good, thank you. There's nobody else signed up to speak. Would anyone in the audience like to speak on the proposed local law? Seeing none, I'll take a motion to adjourn in a second. Councilor Hill, Councilor Corradino. Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilor DeMassey.
Yes.
Councilor Hill.
Yes.
Councilor Wilmot.
Yes.
Councilor Gosick.
Yes.
Councilor Tesoriero.
Yes.
Councilor Corradino.
Yes.
Councilor McBrady.
Yes.
Resolution passes 7-0.
The public hearing is adjourned. It's now time to start. Thank you. There's nobody signed up to speak during public session. Would anyone in the audience like to address the council? All right, seeing none, I'll close public session and the meeting starts at 7:30. I'd like to call the meeting to order. Will you please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Clerk, please call the roll.
His Honor the Mayor.
Here.
Councilor McBrady. Councilor DeMassey. Councilor Hill.
Here.
Councilor Wilmot.
Here.
Councilor Gosick.
Here.
Councilor Tesoriero.
Here.
Councilor Corradino.
Here.
All present.
Thank you. I don't have anything under the mayor's report. Do any of the councilors have anything to add? Seeing none, will clerk please call resolution 374.
Approve minutes common council meeting held October 9th, 2018.
Councilor Gosick, Councilor Hill. Any comment? Please call the roll.
Councilor DeMassey.
Yes.
Councilor Hill.
Yes.
Councilor Wilmot.
Yes.
Councilor Gosick.
Yes.
Councilor Tesoriero.
Yes.
Councilor Corradino.
Yes.
Councilor McBrady.
Yes.
Resolution passes 7-0.
5.
Approve use of city properties by the Oswego YMCA for their annual reindeer run to be held Saturday, December 7th, 2018.
Councilor DeMassey, Councilor McBrady. Any comments? Roll.
Councilor DeMassey.
Yes.
Councilor Hill.
Yes.
Councilor Wilmot.
Yes.
Councilor Gosick.
Yes.
Councilor Tesoriero.
Yes.
Councilor Corradino.
Yes.
Councilor McBrady.
Yes.
Resolution passes 7-0.
Clerk, please call resolution 376.
Approve use of city properties by Trinity Catholic School for the 4th annual Trinity Turkey Trot to be held Sunday, November 18th, 2018.
Councilor Tesoriero, Councilor Corradino. Any comments? Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilor DeMassey.
Yes.
Councilor Hill. Councilor Wilmot.
Yes.
Councilor Gosick.
Yes.
Councilor Tesoriero.
Yes.
Councilor Corradino.
Yes.
Councilor McBrady.
Yes.
Resolution passes 7-0.
Clerk, please call resolution 377.
Approve proposed local law number 6 of the year 2018, a local law amending Chapter 59, alcoholic beverages of the Code of the City of Oswego, New York.
Councilor Hill, Councilor Corradino. Any comments? Councilor Hill.
Since I took office, I've worked with the mayor and my fellow councilors to address certain issues that have detrimentally impacted the quality of life for our residents. And since we've been in office for a short time, we've increased and enhanced code enforcement efforts. We've made substantial improvements to our parks and waterfront. We've implemented programs to combat poverty and homelessness. We've provided tax exemptions for home and business improvements. And we've increased efforts to reduce blight, among other initiatives, to make our city a better place to live, work, play, and raise a family. And although we're making great strides, there's still work to be done, and one of those areas, which applies primarily to the residents of the 1st and 3rd wards, are complaints of disorder and disruption, and that's usually related to this apparent shift from large downtown crowds to informal gatherings and parties within our neighborhoods. And after hearing the concerns of 3rd Ward residents and seeing and hearing rhetoric surrounding this issue for as long as I can remember, with little substantive action, I knew it was time to take a hard look at this issue and formulate a plan to address it. So first, I requested a briefing by the Oswego Police Department and SUNY Police to discuss strategies currently in place to address disruption and disorder in our neighborhoods. And currently, there's a terrific cooperative relationship between the City of Oswego and SUNY Oswego Police, allowing on-campus administrative sanctions to coincide with in-city enforcement, referral of those under the age of 21 who are cited for alcohol-related offenses to the mayor's office so that notification letters may be sent to their home address, and ongoing joint quality of life enforcement details between the City of Oswego and SUNY Oswego. Next, the briefing allowed me to identify specific issues and locations that I was made aware of by my constituents and through personal observations for special attention by law enforcement. And finally, the meeting provided me the opportunity to discuss the possibility of assistance in the form of a new local legislation referred to as a social host law. In a social host law, versions of which have been enacted in municipalities across the state, makes it unlawful for any person over the age of 18 who owns, rents, or otherwise controls a private residence to knowingly allow the consumption of alcohol or use of illegal drugs by minors under the age of 21 on such premises, or who fails to take reasonable corrective action upon learning of the consumption of alcohol or use of illegal drugs by any minor on such premises. By holding the hosts of these gatherings accountable, our law enforcement will have another tool to use to address disorder and disruption in our neighborhoods and improve the quality of life for our residents. The penalties for violating the social host law increase in severity, with the offense being an unclassified misdemeanor, with the first offense punishable by a fine not to exceed $250, the second offense punishable by a fine of $500, and the third offense punishable by a fine of $1,000. In addition to the inclusion of a social host law, our amendment to Chapter 59 of the City Code includes a comprehensive prohibition on the use, sale, and possession of synthetic drugs. Use of these substances is detrimental to the health, safety, and welfare of the residents of the City of Oswego, causing severe physical, mental, and emotional injury to users and those impacted by its use, as well as creating a nuisance and inducing criminal activity. This prohibition includes certain synthetic hallucinogenic substances and any substance prohibited in an order for summary action related to the sale and distribution of synthetic cannabinoids issued by the New York State Department of Health, as well as those prohibited under federal law pursuant to the Synthetic Drug Abuse Prevention Act of 2012 and any synthetic drug analog. This inclusion will be another tool our local law enforcement can use to improve the quality of life for our residents and improve our health, safety, and welfare. I'm very proud of the relationship we have with SUNY Oswego, and I believe this legislation will only work to enhance that relationship. I'd like to thank the mayor for his support of this important piece of legislation, Chief DeCare, the command staff and members of the Oswego Police Department, as well as Chief Rossi and the members of the SUNY Oswego Police Department. I'd also like to thank City Attorney Caracoli, First Ward Councilor McBurdy, Tyler and Corinne from the County of Oswego Council on Alcoholism and Addictions, Teresa Wilson of the Val Foundation, and my fellow councilors for your support. Thank you.
Thank you. I'd just like to commend Councilor Hill and thank Chief DeCare for the work on this. I've serving as a common councilor in the 5th Ward for 2 years, and then obviously in my 3rd year as mayor, I've seen a few 1st and 3rd Ward councilors come and go, and each of them complain about the problem, but really didn't take very much action. And it's because it's a hard issue to actually tackle and to do it successfully and to find a tool that's effective. Unfortunately, in the past, we've seen rhetoric directed at the SUNY community. I think we've seen it directed at the generalizing the entire student body, and I think that was counterproductive to any effort that we may or may not have tried to make over the last few years. I think this legislation actually focuses in on the problematic properties, the folks in the community, which I believe are the minority, actually causing the disruption consistently. And I appreciate Councilor Hill really taking initiative, stepping up, calling on Chief DeCare and the command staff to see what legislation and tools we can provide law enforcement so that they can do our job and improve the quality of life for our residents and meet our expectations as legislators and as the mayor. So thank you, Chief, thank you, Counselor, and thanks for everybody who had a hand in this. Any other comments from the council? Seeing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Counselor DeMassey.
Yes.
Counselor Hill.
Yes.
Counselor Wilmot.
Yes.
Counselor Gosick.
Yes.
Counselor Tesoriero.
Yes.
Counselor Cordino.
Yes.
Counselor McBrady.
Yes.
Resolution passes 7-0.
Clerk, please call Resolution 378.
Authorize public hearing regarding proposed amendments to the Section 8 Rental Assistance Program Administrative Plan.
Counselor Ghost. Lord. Depth about some of the amendments we are making to this plan. It's a project 3 years in the making now. We made a first wave of amendments to the program last December. Now we're taking a more comprehensive and in-depth look at the plan. I talked in depth about these changes at the committee meeting, and we also posted the draft plan for review on the city website, so it's on there for you to take a look. And welcome any comments in the meantime between now and the public hearing. Any comments from the council?
Counselor DeMassey.
Yes.
Counselor Hill.
Yes.
Counselor Wilmot.
Yes.
Counselor Gosick.
Yes.
Counselor Tesoriero.
Yes.
Counselor Cordino.
Yes.
Counselor McBrady.
Yes.
Resolution passes 7-0.
Will clerk please call Resolution 379?
Accept application from Oswego County Opportunities Incorporated for connection to the City of Oswego's stormwater sewer system for property located at 172 City Line Road.
Counselor DeMassey, Counselor Hill. Any comments? Counselor Tesoriero.
Yes, I would like to just state that this is just to accept the application, but not to authorize. Am I correct in saying that?
You're absolutely correct, yes.
So more information will come forward.
Correct. Under the code, the application, the process calls for the council to accept the application, then refer it to the engineering department and the Commissioner of Works for a report, at which point, presumably, if the report is favorable, then it would give the council the authority to issue a permit and, of course, establish the fees associated with that connection.
All right. Thank you very much.
Any other comments? See none, clerk, please call the roll.
Counselor DeMassey.
Yes.
Counselor Hill.
Yes.
Counselor Wilmot.
Yes.
Counselor Gosick.
Yes.
Counselor Tesoriero.
Yes.
Counselor Cordino.
Yes.
Counselor McBrady.
Yes.
Resolution passes 7-0.
Will clerk please call Resolution 3?
Approve bid submitted by Bonnet Sales and Services Incorporated for installation of 7 exterior doors at the East Side Fire Station.
Counselor. Comments? Clerk, please call the roll.
Counselor DeMassey. Counselor Hill.
Yes.
Counselor Wilmot.
Yes.
Counselor Gosick.
Yes.
Counselor Tesoriero.
Yes.
Counselor Cordino.
Yes.
Counselor McBrady.
Yes.
Resolution passes 7-0.
Will clerk please call Resolution 381?
Accept proposal from GHD Consulting Engineers LLC for a water treatment evaluation at the water treatment plant and further commit the Community Development Block Grant Program income to pay for same.
Counselor Cordino? Please call the roll.
Counselor DeMassey.
Yes.
Counselor Hill.
Yes.
Counselor Wilmot.
Yes.
Counselor Gosick.
Yes.
Counselor Tesoriero.
Yes.
Counselor Cordino.
Yes.
Counselor McBrady.
Yes.
Resolution passes 7-0.
Will clerk please call
Accept proposal from the Asbestos and Environmental Consulting Corporation for limited hazardous material pre-demolition surveys at 100 East 9th Street and 84 East Schuyler Street.
Counselor DeMassey, Counselor Wilmot. Any comments? Clerk, please call the roll.
Counselor DeMassey.
Yes.
Counselor Hill.
Yes.
Counselor Wilmot.
Yes.
Counselor Gosick.
Yes.
Counselor Tesoriero.
Yes.
Counselor Cordino.
Yes.
Counselor McBrady.
Yes.
Resolution passes
Will
7-0.
clerk please call Resolution 383?
Approve request to seek bids for the general contracting for building repairs to Safe Haven and the theater building located at Fort Ontario, building repairs to City Hall, roofs for the High Dam and water plant, and street restoration and widening of Munn Street.
Counselor McBride. Just a group of projects that we'd like to get done, and we'd like to authorize the city chamberlain to go authorize the city to seek bids for a new roof at the water plant and the high dam, both of which are urgent and time sensitive. We also have 2 city-owned buildings over in the Fort Ontario complex where the Safe Haven Museum is and the Players Theater is. The city owns both of those buildings and they need improvement as well. Councilor Corradino has a project on Munn Street he's spearheading, and obviously some repairs that we need to City Hall. We won a large grant last December to do some work at City Hall, and this money will just help supplement some of the work that that grant will cover. Any other comments? Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilor DeMassey.
Yes.
Councilor Hill.
Yes.
Councilor Wilmot.
Yes.
Councilor Gosick.
Yes.
Councilor Tesorio.
Yes.
Councilor Cordino.
Yes.
Councilor McBurney.
Yes.
Resolution passes 7-0.
Clerk, please call Resolution 384.
Approve attendance at the Fire Officer 2 course to be held December 3rd through 7th, 2018 in Montour Falls, New York. Request of Randall B. Griffin, Fire Chief.
Councilor Tesorio, Councilor McBurney. Any comments? Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilor DeMassey.
Yes.
Councilor Hill.
Yes.
Councilor Wilmot.
Yes.
Councilor Gosick.
Yes.
Councilor Tesorio.
Yes.
Councilor Cordino.
Yes.
Councilor McBurney.
Yes.
Resolution passes 7-0.
Any unfinished business to come before the council? Seeing none, I'll take a motion to adjourn. Councilor Hill, second by Councilor Corradino. Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilor DeMassey.
Yes.
Councilor Hill.
Yes.
Councilor Wilmot.
Yes.
Councilor Gosick.
Yes.
Councilor Tesorio.
Yes.
Councilor Cordino.
Yes.
Councilor McBurney.
Yes.
Resolution passes 7-0.
Meeting is adjourned.
14 minutes.